All right, Andrew, it's time for your expertise. Let's go. It's the first week of June, and we will have the next 2 months to talk about this. But since the emergence in his rookie year, Edwin's younger brother, Alexis Diaz, has been linked to the Mets ever since. The recent success of Alvarez, an executive source from the Mets front office, confirmed that the Mets have been receiving calls about their number one ranked prospect, Kevin Parada, last year's first-round pick by the Mets out of Georgia Tech. A majority of the Mets front office have agreed that it does make sense to move Parada, but less than half do believe that he should be moved for Alexis Diaz. The value market for Diaz is steep, as he is currently under team control until 2027 and has emerged as one of the best relievers in all of baseball. Mets need bullpen help. We know they do. He definitely could be a game changer, but if it is at the cost of Kevin Parada.
Fuck no. I swear to God, if anyone at SNY had a brain cell, you got the GM, that's what pisses me off. You got a former GM, and he makes it look like he's a fucking idiot armchair GM on Twitter. This is a relief pitcher. Yes, a controllable, we've already done this. Top prospect, named Diaz, gave it up a top prospect that no one should have given up. No! When we did that, wait, I just realized we had a shitty GM back then, and we have a shitty GM now. Oh, shit, the parallels might happen again.
He's not shitty. 101 wins. Stop.
101 wins, yeah. The value for Alexis Diaz, like you said, it's going to be astronomical. And you're going to have other teams involved. If they ask for Kevin Parada, here's what you do. Kevin Parada, huh? Next. Because you can go out and get Joe Kelly, you can go out and get a Kendall Graveman, a Liam Hendricks. You know, there are plenty. Again, let's use a Billy Epler quote. It's going to be a very robust reliever market this year. There should be a robust reliever market. Yes, Alexis is probably the best arm available. I don't think that's unless for some reason Devin Williams was put on the market, which the Milwaukee Brewers, they're already hearing about Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns. That's a level of talent. A starting pitcher, control for this year and next year, Kevin Parada goes for. You don't trade a catcher, a top 20, already the 26th prospect, I believe, in baseball, according to the pipeline, already, or 36, one of the sixes. Yes, you have Alvarez. He's expendable. Why not have and here's the other thing. What's wrong with having a Jansen and Kirk? Hypothetical. What's wrong with that? And we've already said, especially when he was drafted, Parada's athletic enough. If we need him to move to the corner outfielder, make him a corner outfielder, he can be that. So I get it. Oh, we have Alvarez. Parada's fucking useless, according to everybody. He's not. He was a top 10 pick for a reason. It probably should have been a top 5 pick. Slot money got us to us. Thank you very much. But you can't just dump him because, we've got Alvarez. We've got somebody else behind him. Like, this is a top, again, overall viewed prospect in baseball. It isn't like, he's the number one guy in the Mets system. He's like, not even a top. Like, this is a guy who can be a big league player and gives you the flexibility. And to dump him for a reliever, yes, cost controllable. Go find Andres Munoz. Like, again, I made that example. Trade it for Austin Nola. You can find those guys. I don't trust Billy Epler to do because I'm going to make an Epler video pretty soon because there's a lot I need to get off my chest. But Epler guys and the Epler rotation and bullpen. Yeah, when I saw the article of Alexis Diaz for Kevin Parada, I almost went bald.
We know you don't give multi-year deals for relievers, and you definitely don't give up top 1 or top 5 prospects for relievers. I don't care how good Alexis Diaz is, and he's not as good as Edwin anyway. So I don't think it's worth it. If I'm going to trade Parada, it has to be someone much more in a marquee position. Like I always said, I would think starting pitcher. That's my first thing I'm looking at. With, again, the age of the rotation, I don't like this patchwork. Let's just keep rotating 40-year-old pitchers over and over. I want something a little more sustainable. So whether that's a pitcher or a big-time position player that has versatile and has multiple big-time tools like power and speed and contact and things like that, then okay, sure, that's young, controllable. I'd rather trade product for that. But for a reliever, I just think that's absolutely crazy. I mean, we did before. We're lucky Kelnick isn't as good as he was supposed to be. He's had a good year this year. But when they had traded him, he was supposed to be like one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, Seattle looks fantastic with your little fucking butt buddy J-Rod, you piece of shit.
So we don't want to just be like, oh, well, Kelenic didn't turn out to be that much better than Edwin Diaz, so it was worth the risk. I don't think it's worth trying that again. And I think that, you know what, I do want the Mets to do something because Edwin Diaz got hurt, but I think this is a little drastic. I think this is a little desperate. And I feel like, you know what, I mean, if this team had Alexis Diaz and eventually Edwin comes back against that later, you do have a really, really nice bullpen. But if you still have, Tommy Pham and Escobar and Nito and Vogelback and all these really bad hitters on your team, it's not really going to matter. Because Alexis Diaz and Edwin Diaz can't pitch in a bunch of 0-0 games. It's not going to do anything for you. So I think that right now Parada could be more of use than that. So I'm not totally against trading him, but I just don't think that this is the right trade. I don't care how good the reliever is. I don't even care if it was Devin Williams. Like, you just don't do it. It's really not a smart thing. You look at what the Padres did for Josh Hader. That trade ain't looking too good. They gave up quite a bit, and he did not. Relievers could go downhill at any given point. I seen Alexis Diaz under pressure one time, and that was when Edwin got hurt, and he had to pitch for Puerto Rico. He was a shell of himself. He was like so out of it. Maybe okay, your brother got hurt, fine, but when you're in New York and it's playoffs and there's significant pressure, I don't know he can handle it. Is that this? It's not the equivalent, but the one time I seen him under pressure, he didn't get it done. And it's like we talked about off stream with Aaron Hicks playing so well in Baltimore. When there's no pressure, you'd be surprised how good a player is. How many Cincinnati Reds have we seen that performed really well in Cincinnati come to the Mets, all of a sudden not so much? Because there's a lot of pressure in New York compared to Cincinnati. So Alexis Diaz, he's still very young. So again, just when it comes to relievers, any reliever, it's just too risky. And I think anytime you have another marquee catcher, it's hard enough to get one. The fact that you have two, that's really rare. You shouldn't give up one for a reliever.
Okay, you get the excuse. Your brother got hurt. Okay, your mom and dad got shot in the foot, and they also got ran over by a car. Okay, you get one excuse. All right, so, I think I made this more of just like a yes or no question as for just Parada for Alexis Diaz. I'm going to take this a little bit one more step further and say, why the fuck is this even a thought? Why are we even thinking about it at this point? Just nuking someone from the top five, not even just for a reliever, but just like, why? What is the actual point of that when Parada has not even started his minor league career? What is he? He's played 30 games? He's barely even played. You don't need to trade a prospect because you have another guy at that position. They can try other positions and give you value somewhere else. They're young players. They can develop their game. That's the whole point. And I understand that Alexis Diaz is a cost-controllable reliever. He is not like another guy that you could trade for that is under contract, like Liam Hendricks or Rafael Iglesias or somebody else that is actually under a contract and not on team control. But how come compared to with the Mets and compared to with all these other teams, they give up nothing for these relievers? Nothing. Pennies. Their 22nd prospect and their 29th prospect. How come the first thought that the Mets always have with one of these elite relievers is, let's just nuke somebody from the top five? Like, I understand, I'm not trying to look like a prospect hugger or whatever, but like, come on. This is the first thought that you have. I understand the Mets bullpen. There's some brutal arms in there that I want to shove right down into the Hudson River and see them drown and bleed. But that's not worth giving up just a first-round pick for a reliever. And I understand it's Alexis Diaz, and it's his brother, and he could teach him all the great stuff of being an elite reliever. But I'm not gonna go through another 2019 again. I'm sorry, I can't do that again. And listen, that's more just narrative based than actual fact. But I don't think that this is the area that you look into. If they want Kevin Parada for Alexis Diaz, then you talk to him in 2027 and see what he wants on the free agent market. Because this is just stupid. Like that, what's the point of that? Just get rid of Parada because we have Alvarez? Yeah, like we don't have another million positions that are long-term that are not locked down whatsoever. He can't try left field. He can't try right field. I mean, yeah, we have the DH position locked down right now. We have Daniel Vogelbach long-term. He's getting a huge extension. If you want a cost-controllable reliever, don't trade Daniel Vogelbach for Colin Holderman. How about that? You fucking idiot. End of story. I don't understand the thought process here. And to be honest, at this point, why is it even a thought of giving up a top 5 prospect for a reliever? I understand it's Alexis Diaz and one of the best in the game, but yeah, we already did this before. It already started an entire global debate of whether it's a good trade or not. Mets fans would kill each other for the guys who actually defended his older brother. I'm not doing it again. That's all I got to say. I'm not doing it again. All right. I have fought and fought and fought for Edwin Diaz, and now I have to fight for him even more with the fucking David Robertson stand. So fuck it.